Now, the Trimble Tomcats were the only team above 500 the Buckeyes have beat this season. But we're going to talk about it with Trimble reporter Anthony Allocco. What's shaking up in the Hocking standings?
Well, with Miller sitting at 6-4, a full 3 games behind Trimble heading into the last week of the season, the Tomcats and the Waterford Wildcats are in a two-team race right now. Trimble's loss to Waterford came on January 6th, and it came in the middle of a tough 4-game losing stretch, and that handed the Tomcats all but one of their losses. And they haven't been nearly as dominant as they have in recent years. And Waterford came in at number 10 in this week's state AP poll. A win in that upcoming game could very well lock up the Hocking for the Wildcats over the Tomcats this week.
Now, Tuesday, it's going down. Number 1 versus number 2. I mean, what's it look like, man?
Well, I don't think I could oversell it enough, Eric. I mean, that game is going to decide the Hocking crown. And Waterford's conference schedule has Miller, Belpre, Eastern, and Southern left. And you can see how they fared against the top teams in the Hocking. I mean, they've been dominating the games, and it could very well be the end of Trimble's Tomcats' hopes in the Hocking if they lose that game.
They have been tough and consistent over the years. Now, what about the girls? Are they still struggling?
Well, if we look at the numbers, the girls aren't doing as well as they would have liked, and they're not in a good spot in the standings right now, but they just came off their toughest stretch of the season. They were on the road for 4 of their last 6 games, and 4 of them came against the top teams in the Hocking. And now, if you notice, one of those home games was against the Waterford Lady Wildcats, and so that's going to equal the most difficult span in their schedule.
Most definitely. Tough stretch, but how do they turn it around?
Well, they have Miller, Federal Hocking, and Grove City Christian coming up next. And they just took their beatings. They have a good picture of what needs to be executed. They turned the ball over a lot in that stretch, and were taken advantage of by the pace of play from some of the top teams. In the next couple of games, they need to slow things down and take care of the basketball. If they make those adjustments, they could use this 4-game stretch to get a little bit better, and then they can match up against Eastern on February 9th to see where they're at heading into postseason ball.
Yeah, they still have time to make it happen. Anthony, thank you, sir. Now we have fresh people, fresh